Once upon a time, there lived a lonely hedgehog. His name was Philip, and he lived with his aunt Agnes, who complained of her arthritis all day long. Sometimes, when he was bored, he would go outside and build castles in the sand, or tree houses in the trees, which made more sense than the other way around. He loved being in the hedges, or trees, excuse me. It was a hedgehog. He loved being in the trees and seeing the birds. One day he saw a bird flying in the sky that he had never seen before. He instantly wanted to be its friend. There's an apostrophe error on its. Unfortunately, the bird flew down and picked up Philip, dropping him off on a nearby mountaintop. Once Philip was at this mountain top, he wandered into a nearby cave where he heard a loud roar. Could it be the fearsome lion-dragon hybrid that eats hedgehogs, such as me, Philip thought? Or was it something else? As Philip ventured into the dark cave, the roar grew louder, but as he turned the corner, all he found was a tiny mouse sound asleep, snoring loudly. He stepped up to the mouse, and he woke up with a start. "Oh, there you are," the mouse exclaimed. "You are quite late, but no matter. In this cave there lies 3 riddles. You must pass each one to escape the cave." As the mouse passed the cave entrance, suddenly collapsed, and the cave was shrouded in a thick darkness. "I will be your guide, however," the mouse added, as he lifted up a lantern, filling the hole with soft white light. The mouse was quick on his feet, as mice usually are. Philip practically galloped to keep up. Philip was so focused on not tripping over his own feet that when he looked up, he noticed the low light of the lantern had disappeared. He was surrounded by darkness. Something was crawling up his back. Philip stood still in fear that if he moved, he might be dead. The feeling grew stronger as the strange thing crawled closer and closer to his face. It crossed Philip's mind that this may indeed be the first riddle. What on earth could tickle a hedgehog's bag? He knew the answer immediately. With a deep breath, he gathered his courage to shout, "I am not afraid. It's just a tiny spider crawling on my back." Philip grinned, knowing he had passed the first riddle. Suddenly, the mouse with the lantern reappeared, its tiny face drawn up in terror. "What are you doing?" the mouse squeaked. "That's not a riddle. That's Victor, the most annoyingly dangerous spider of all time. If he bites you, you can't stop dancing for at least 3 days." Philip knew he had to get the spider off his back, but how? He was a hedgehog after all. "Don't worry," said the mouse. "I prepared for this moment my whole life. I know just how to get Victor off your back," he said as he dug into his pocket. He yanked out a granola bar and started to eat it. Philip yelled, "How is that supposed?" Tense error here. You need to make it supposed ED, but that's all right. To help, the mouse just shrugged and the spider bit him. Philip felt a tingle in his legs and started to dance. The mouse began to cackle with glee. "At last, my own performing hedgehog. Now I can finally make my mother proud of me. I will bring her, this dancing hedgehog, and show her that I am capable of doing cool things, and then she will never be ashamed of me again." The mouse stood in shock, granola hanging from his chin. Philip was dancing, the spider was cackling. Then the brave little hedgehog had an idea. He knew how to escape. He pulled out a plant from the cave ground and formed a weapon of miraculous capabilities. It was Zolthar, the Void Blade, bringer of death, destroyer of 1,000 worlds. Philip flashed the blade over his head and brought it crashing down wrath on his foes. Rocks cracked and splintered and fell as the mouse and Victor fled in terror. In the dark silence, Philip's tiny steps could be heard along with the hum of the blade. "Let the trial of the three riddles begin," Philip said, as a grin crept along his face.